Amazon Relay Asset Verification. You guys have been asking me to make a how-to video on this for a while, and I told you I would. I was waiting for them to ask me to do it, and I wanted to be sure I got it right. All right, so let's start with where we're at on this. If you're the type of person that likes to plan things out, you like to prevent problems before they start, this is one of those things, and kind of what's taken me so long in making this video is you cannot do this. You cannot do this step until they ask you to. I believe it may be only being rolled out right now in California. I suspect it's going to be rolled out across the whole United States, but I think right now we're either in phase 3 or phase 4 in California doing it. And what kind of freaked me out about it is I had friends, colleagues, people who get in touch with me who were telling me, that we're in phase 1 of this stuff, sending me over emails of what they're, to get to here, you go managing resources. You go down to assets. My asset screen looked the same for the longest time. They were sending me screenshots, pictures of what theirs looked like, and theirs looked markedly different than mine. And it's just one of those things I want you to know going into this. If you're hey, I want to plan. I want to go ahead and register my asset now so that it's something to not worry about later. I tried that. I even tried opening a case. It is not an option until they ask you to do it. Now, one thing I will point out here is with each subsequent wave that's come out, I know guys who were in wave 1, it was taking them 30, 45 days to get their assets verified. By the time that now I think they're in wave 3 or 4, when they got to me and they asked me to do this, the whole process took 48 hours. So how did I find out it was my turn or that they wanted me to do it? I'll tell you what happened. I was in the middle of one of my nights running loads for them, 0 assets verified. My screen had looked the same as it always had, and all of a sudden I had come up in the Relay app a notification saying it's time to verify your assets. I got 2 notifications of them. I took screenshots of both of those, and then later that morning I got an email from them saying it's time to verify your assets. Kind of went through the instructions as far as going to the little hamburger menu, managing resources, going down to assets, and suddenly for the first time my screen looked different. Now, a major question I've gotten both on this channel and from people just talking to them in person is when they ask you to do this, there's 2 things to keep in mind. One, they give you a 30-day window to complete it. The other thing is during those 30 days from the second they ask you to do it, your existing tractor, your equipment that you've always been using to run loads on Amazon Relay, all of a sudden that shows up as ineligible. And that freaks a lot of people out. You see ineligible on anything, you don't want to book anything. I know guys who, while their tractor was ineligible, they didn't do any work with Amazon Relay because Amazon Relay is telling them that they had an ineligible tractor. It just so happened the night that they sent me that notification, I had already had existing work booked that I had to now assign my ineligible tractor to. And I just wanted to show you what the process looks like. Here it is. Yep, I look different. I'm recording this on a different day than the rest of the time that I made this video, but this is what I look like when I'm not planning on recording anything. I wanted to address not only a question I've got in the past, but a question inevitably is going to come up in the future. And that is, what happens when you get that, when you get the asset verification, your thing is pending, but then if you click on your asset, it tells me right here that that this is ineligible. And usually, you're working for Amazon, you see anything that says ineligible, you're probably going to shy away from booking anything. Ineligible driver, ineligible asset. I want to show you though, because I'm within that 30 days, I just got the notification last night. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I have a load booked right here, start work. Now keep in mind, I have an ineligible asset, but because I'm within that 30 days, there's my tractor appearing just like it always has. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And despite saying ineligible, as long as you're within that 30-day window that they give you to verify your asset, you can still book loads and assign your tractor to do it. So as you can see, as long as you're within those 30 days, even though your tractor is coming up ineligible, it still will allow you to assign that tractor to do work while they're verifying your assets. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is you're going to go to your assets page. You're going to notice that there's a template to download. This template, if you download it, is designed to be opened in an Excel spreadsheet. In fact, I think it ends, the template they send you over ends .xlsx. I'm not a PC guy. I'm part of the Apple cult, but I believe that that's part of the Excel spreadsheet program, and it's going to have you download this template that follows. Basically, it's going to ask for your unit number, your ownership type, your license plate country, license plate state, license plate number, and VIN number. And you basically just want to follow that same format. If you've got Excel, just go ahead and download that existing template into Excel and just create like a new row and enter in your information. Now it just so happened on mine, I filled in every box. I think they're using that data comparing to what's on file with like the FMCSA, and if it all checks out, I believe you're good to go. That's what happened to me. I still have heard of them getting in touch with people and being like, hey, we need, please provide us a copy of your cab card. Please provide us, a copy of your title, that type of stuff like that. So that may happen. You want to keep your eyes on your email, looking for emails from them. But if everything that you provide to them matches with what's on file with the FMCSA, like I said, with me, is done with it in 48 hours. So if you've got Excel, you're a PC person, you're great, you're set. You just save this as a file, you're gonna upload this to them, wait to hear from them. I'm gonna add this last little part of the video for those of us who are in the Apple cult out there. You can download this there's a native program on your iOS devices called Numbers. And here's the trick to it, because originally when I did this and I tried to submit it to them, it said invalid format. It came up with some sort of like little error message. There's a little trick to this. Let me turn on screen record here on my iPad and show you what to do. This is just for you Apple guys, you PC guys, you're free to leave. If you're using an Apple device, when it comes time to save it and you filled in all your information, you hit this little share arrow, you're going to export and send, and then it gives you all of these options. Do you want to save it as a PDF, Excel, CSV, TSV, numbers template? If you hit Excel, and it's going to give you a little warning, some fonts may not be supported, that type of stuff, and hit continue. And then you can save that to your files and upload that to them. They will accept that. I did, long story short, that's originally how I did mine. I did mine from inside the truck. I submitted it to them. I got that same error message that I got before, and I was convinced it absolutely wouldn't work. Calling around, like friends, family, like, hey, and if you guys got a PC that has Excel on it that I could use? And I had made plans later that week to kind of meet up with my sister and use her computer. Well, what happened in the meantime is Amazon got in touch with me and said, like, okay, we received it, everything's good to go. So even though if you get that little error message after going through the Numbers program and on an iOS device, and as long as you save it as an Excel document, you're gonna get that error message. But it worked for me, and I hate to assume things, but I assume it's gonna work for you as well too. So I hope that answers your question. I mean, I've been fearing this step for a while. I mean, I had friends sending me emails saying, as of February 1st in California, you're no longer allowed to carry loads unless your assets have been verified. And it's like, here's me having 0 verified assets, not being asked to verify any assets. And it's like, I have like friends sending me stuff like that. And it's like, I was real worried about this step. This was one of those things that had just been on my mind for a while. After getting the whole thing done, and kind of seeing how it did play out, it took a lot of, I hope my experience takes some of your anxiety away if you're sitting there worried about like, man, when are they going to ask me to do this? Because I assure you, I tried. It's not a process that you can self-start. You cannot do it on your own. You have to be asked to wait till they do it. And when they do it, you just fill out the information. Should be a piece of cake. I've had a lot of people ask me why they're doing this. I really don't know. I see it as possibly like a potential way to like cut down on fraud and just, be sure that, I have no problem with them asking me, hey, Stat Trucking, according to the FMCSA, claims to have 1 tractor and 1 trailer. Verify that all you want. Verify that all day. That's, I have nothing to hide on that. I assume they're doing this to cut down on fraud and everything like that, but I'd be guessing that type of stuff. But anyway, I hope this video serves you well. Appreciate you for watching. Take care.